Welcome to Swish, or Miss. Hey, everybody, thank you. I'm your man, Will Macklin. I'm going to be here for you at Swish or Miss. I thought we could start doing that. Is that cool?
I'm in. We're on there.
Okay.
I'm in.
All right, so
That's cool.
I wanted to get right back into it. Talking about game one. Was Delly's foul on Iggy's?
Yeah.
Was it intentional?
I mean, there's a history with Dellavedova.
Dellavedova.
And what he did last year in the postseason against Korver and Taj Gibson, where those guys...
Al Horford, like the people's elbow.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
But I think he was really going for the ball and trying to anticipate where Iguodala was going to put it next to try and steal, but his fist was closed.
It came down really hard.
And it came down. So, I don't know.
And
although
the ball was in Iggy's left hand.
Although he does have a history, I'm going to miss on this one. I don't think he did it on purpose.
Yeah, I swish that Dellavedova's a reasonably dirty player, certainly hard-nosed. I think that
very hard-nosed.
Yeah, well, hey,
terribly offensive.
He's got to play that role to play in the league. I think that his defensive aggressiveness is what makes him an NBA player. But I think that particular play, I think he was going for the ball. It's so close when you see the replay.
Which
obviously, well said. Obviously, Iguodala reacted the way any man would react when you get punched in the
What do you
jollies,
think he would react if it was anyone else?
Wow, I don't.
You're getting hit in the family jewels.
That's exactly right. When you take one from the boys downstairs.
I think he knew Delly is like New Delhi. No, I think that I think he knew that Delly that was. He was kind of going for the nards on purpose, and I think there was like, if he hit the wrong person though, because once that happened to Iggy, they went like on a 24-4 run. He just totally lit them up after that.
It didn't slow Iggy down though. He hit a number of threes after that. That bench held it together.
If Delly did that to Green, I think that's who you have to look out. You have to do it to Green, because even Green kicked Kyrie. When after he had a little bit of a flop there.
There were a lot of dirty plays going back and forth throughout that game, but I'd say a miss.
LeBron slap?
Yes. The slap heard around the building anyway.
That was crazy.
Real loud. But I would say it's a miss. I think that he was going for the ball. I don't think it's a big story anyway, and if Dellavedova for any reason loses a game for this, there
will be no extra discipline.
All right, well that settles that right there. I think
Delly's just so good at making it look like it was a basketball play. You know what I mean? Like he did that with Gibson, but he had his legs wrapped around him. He did that with Korver when he went and like looked like he was going for the ball and he went over his ankle. And then with the play with Al Horford, it was like this backup. What was it? He was backing him out, and then he was just kept going into Horford. Horford's like, okay, just going to give you the rock people elbow here. And
you can do it, put your back into it.
Exactly. So he just knows, he's really good at he's really crafty that way to make it look like it's a basketball play while he's being the dirtiest player of the game.
Yeah, I think the other ones, like you mentioned, last year were more obvious and more as a dirty player. I don't know. Although I don't really like his style of play, but he is aggressive and gets in your grill as a defender. But I don't think it was...
Verjao was like... Verjao also the same type of player, which is so funny. Well, his flops. I think he got away with a little bit of a love flop there. But Verjao thinks he's a jerk too, and thinks you said the only way he's in this league is because of that.
Yeah.
But that being said,
I genuinely believe that.
But I think Delly...
And it is true, yeah.
And I think
so too.
But I think Delly could run the pick and roll better than Kyrie can. So, let's see. What are you going to trade with? Like, you want the offense from Kyrie, or just give it to James and Delly?
What do you think, Will? Swish or miss? Did he bag him?
Oh, I think he did on purpose, yeah.
Love it.
That's a swish for me. All right, let's moving on here. This is mostly for you. We geared towards you, Elias. Would you like the Cavs' chances more if Kobe Bryant, in his prime, was playing instead of King James?
With the same roster?
The very same.
It's good. I have to swish because I'm a Kobe guy.
Yeah, big surprise.
But you're playing against this Golden State team who won 73 games, right? Who are great shooters. Obviously, their game plan would be different against a guy like Kobe than it is against a guy like LeBron. Because Kobe doesn't move the ball as much. Mm-hmm. He's more of a scorer. You give it to him. He'll find his teammates if they get open, if the double comes on him. But if you leave him one-on-one and try to have one defender like Iguodala or Barnes or whoever it is, Thompson, Green on him, then he's going to go to work on that one-on-one matchup. And also, Kobe's never played with a real true point guard, so it'll be the first time to...
You think Kyrie's a true point guard?
Well, as in like a very talented point guard. Kobe's never played.
I get that.
With at the end of Steve Nash's career, he was there, but he got hurt. They only played a handful of games together.
No, I get it.
And those couple of years.
But Fisher was okay.
Yeah, Fisher was okay, but like he wasn't the most talented. He's not Kyrie or even Steve Nash, but I don't think Steve was.
Well, they played together for a long weekend.
Exactly. So you can't even count that. And you got to see how it plays out through the season. It's hard to say that they would win with Kobe and not LeBron, or they would win with LeBron and not Kobe. So I would switch because I'm a Kobe guy and I love what Kobe brings to the game and his mentality. So I would have to switch, but that's really the main reason for it. I still think the Cavs can win this series, although it'll be hard, and Golden State is such a great shooting team, so I don't see Cleveland winning. Obviously, I'm not going to count them out.
Right.
But I would say yes, just because the fan in me wants to see yes. But you have to see them over a cross of 82 games and all that stuff.
I know,
yeah. So it's kind of a harder question to answer. But
I was thinking just in a hole in the box.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that Kobe would take this Cavs team to the finals. I think he might even do it 6 years in a row. But not 6 years. I think he could take his team similarly to LeBron to the finals all these years in a row. I think that he's got that skill. It's just I think that the Warriors, it's like having two Ray Allens out there shooting threes from the perimeter, and I just don't think that Kobe can keep up with that. I don't think that Cleveland's team with Kobe could keep up with that either way. I think the Warriors take this series either way just because of their shooting ability.
Exactly, and Kobe would have to chase Thompson on D, or they'll try to maybe put him on Barnes, who also can hit some threes, but you have to have those defenders who are chasing Curry and Thompson, and it's going to be hard. But yeah, we saw them in game one struggle and only combined for 20, but they still won the game by 15.
Yeah.
Elias was saying, though, like the matchup would be the real thing to watch, though. You put Kobe and Iguodala, it would become a personal test for Kobe to make Iguodala look like garbage. And that's what would be really compelling for me, because I think he would mop the floor with anybody that they matched up against.
Yeah.
Quick story about Iguodala and Kobe. A few years ago, when Iguodala was still with the Sixers, the Lakers were playing in Philly, and Iguodala kind of, I don't want to say lockdown, but made Kobe work for it. He only ended up with 17 points or something like that on 7 for 20-something shooting. So Kobe was obviously upset, and when Philly came to play the Lakers later that year in LA, Kobe went and told Iguodala, I'm going to give you 50 tonight, and did the game with 48.
Well, you know what? That's exactly it, though. 7-game series, there's no way Kobe sits down for any of those games. But either way, I still think the Warriors can take it just based on the perimeter shooting. 3 points are more than 2 points. So
that's the thing. The biggest crime that we get that we'll never see is that we just missed the Warriors versus Kobe's Lakers. We just missed that. Like, Kobe's done and it's over. I would love to see that rivalry, between this Warriors team and Kobe's old Lakers. But I definitely think that Kobe would win one of these series. So if they play back-to-back like this, and the Warriors won last year, he's for sure getting the second one.
I think Kobe would have had a better chance the year before if the guys weren't injured against the Warriors. I think the Warriors are obviously better than what they were last year, surprising everyone, 73 wins, and they just killed it.
I'm saying if Kobe's in the same situation as LeBron, they win this series. That's what I think the Cavs are.
I miss on that one.
You miss? Airball. I was going to go into it. This kind of leads to the next question, the third Swish or Miss question. Swish or Miss, LeBron James, the best postseason player of all time?
No, I don't know.
Just because how many times he's gotten there, not even just postseason. I say that's the whole journey, not just the finals, of course. And I mean, he's
had some great
he's certainly in the conversation.
Great postseason numbers, great postseason games. Especially that game where he scored 20-something in a row against Detroit, and I believe it was a double overtime game. Willed that Cavaliers 07 team to the finals with basically a bag of fruits.
Yeah. I was on the team, actually.
But how can you seriously say that he's the best of all time when you look at a guy like Michael Jordan or Bill Russell? How many championships did these guys win consecutively? It's one thing to get there. It's another thing to take home the ring. And that's the difference between LeBron and Kobe and LeBron and Michael and LeBron and Bill Russell.
No, that's true. The championship.
That's what you got to look at it. I guess the championship, but he's definitely up there, like Dave
Without
said,
question,
in the conversation and he will be for the rest of his career.
And best all-time period.
Okay.
There's no question he's in that mix.
All right, sidebar, Swish or miss. How many championships does he need to get to put him in that Kobe combo or Michael combo? Does he have to get 5?
Yeah, of course. I think so.
That seems
Even
fair
though
to
he's
me.
gone, this is his 7th finals. Amazing.
No,
Yeah.
it's incredible
Kobe only got
achievement.
to 7 in his career. He won 5 and lost 2.
And LeBron, like Kobe, is the most responsible for getting them that far.
Right.
On
But it's so
all those
difficult
teams.
getting there, though, right? It's just like that.
It
and
is
it's-
difficult. He's definitely, obviously, playing in an
Now,
Eastern Conference
if he
helped
done-
him. We said we talked about this on our preview show. If LeBron was playing in the Western Conference, would he have even gotten to 6 straight finals in a row? We said no. He'd probably get to 3, 4, maybe not in a row, but over a course of 6, 7 years,
Right.
He would, because there's tougher competition in the West during the postseason to get there. But you'd have to win a couple of more rings. Obviously, winning one more, and especially winning one for Cleveland,
Yeah.
would, I think, cement his legacy.
That's that's why he needs to win this series.
Yeah, maybe not even maybe next year. At least if he wins one more for Cleveland, he'll obviously always be there in the discussion about the greatest of all time. But he has more losses in the finals than he has wins, and that's what I don't want to say. It does hurt him in a way, but getting there already 7 times is a great achievement in itself.
Right, yeah. No, I get that. I have to agree with that, definitely. All right, so we'll go for the last Swish or miss question, and it's just about the Warriors as a team. Like, Swish or miss? Why are the Warriors the more likable team? Are they the more likable team? Swish or miss?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
They are the more likable team, though this playoff they have kind of stressed that a little bit with Draymond having some reasonably questionable altercations and under the rim with this guy and a foot to the expletives for another guy.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they're a team that's kind of starting to strain, but the Rush last year, everybody was on the Warriors when they played Cleveland in the final. I think that the media still loves them. Is there a more likable superstar than Steph Curry?
I don't think so.
And
No.
I've never heard Klay Thompson speak, so I don't have any reason not to like him. The guy's
No.
like a mute. And Draymond's just funny. You know what I mean? He's just a funny dude.
Yeah.
He's a great personality in the league. Of any of them, he's the guy I get tired of the quickest. But I think that
they're the most likable. Like, for exactly what Dave said, the superstar status of Curry, and he's liked, family man, does all the right things.
yeah. And, Riley, cutest kid in the world. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, and you just can't. It's not no bang against the Cavs.
No.
I don't think they're hated, but
I'm
it's
not
just that the
following
Warriors.
LeBron to the In-N-Out Burger with
Well,
Drake. Though, you know what I mean?
That's true.
But it's just that I think the Warriors are more likable because of what they have and how
Yeah.
Curry carries himself, and that kind of resonates on the rest of the squad
Right.
and the team.
There's
But
reason-
I wouldn't say I hate Cleveland more than I hate the Warriors or like them more than I like the Warriors.
Right.
It's just that the Warriors are the more likable team, yes,
Yeah.
because of how Curry goes about his business.
He's
and
the cool guy.
And that's how you kind of get the image of Curry, so it's kind of the image of the team.
I'll
Right.
go a step further than that, too, though, because Steve Kerr had health problems this year.
Yeah.
And I've a very well-respected guy as a broadcaster, as a coach, as a player, all the way across the board. Steve Kerr's one of the good guys in basketball. A lot of people want to see that guy pull through
Yeah.
and have a great year. On top of that, Tyronn Lue, like the David Blatt, LeBron James thing,
Yeah.
that didn't endear Cleveland to anybody. So for LeBron to seemingly pick out his own coach and put him in and then to have them struggle a little bit, I think a lot of people are kind of like, good. This is
Yeah.
what you deserve.
No, I know.
Because you've wrecked how many franchises in your career, LeBron,
Right.
acting as the unofficial head coach.
Well, I was going to say, no, I wouldn't say wreck, but I just look at the Warriors and how organic that was put together.
Exactly, yeah.
And then look what LeBron has done, where it was like a politicking thing he was doing.
Yeah,
he came back to Cleveland,
trade this
trade back,
guy.
and go back to this guy. He's the general manager as well, where even he's making tweets saying like, I don't really like Kyrie Irving that much because he's a shoot first PG, you know? So it's like these things where LeBron has his lovers, obviously, but he's kind of like he went to Miami, turned heel, and was like Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and then went back to the red and yellow in Cleveland, and like he's the good guy again, and you just expect him to like him, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. You didn't go back to Cleveland just because you wanted to go back to Cleveland. You went back to Cleveland because you knew that you had that trade, the love that would come in. You wanted Wiggins out.
But
you
even
had
at the
Kyrie
end of
to play
last
with.
season, everybody was saying, "Oh, hey, Love may walk." I don't think he likes it. I don't think that's a good fit for Kevin Love, and I still don't think it's a good fit for Kevin Love. Kevin Love dominated in Minnesota, and
but
for
he
him
never
to go
made
to
the
Cleveland,
postseason, that was the whole.
but for him to go to
conversation.
Cleveland and be the third wheel on a team, like
And
it
the
seems like a waste. To me.
overpaid corner 3 guy now, like it's just insane.
Exactly.
Even
He's
though
the best
he's
stretch
getting
four in the league.
even though he's getting more touches in the post under Lou, but I think
Underrated
we won't see,
underneath, by the way.
Yeah, we won't
Definitely.
see what we saw from Kevin Love in Minnesota in Cleveland.
No. Plus, he's a terrible rim protector, so
Exactly.
you can't. It's really tough. But yeah, anyway, that's why I thought about the Warriors. I think they're just organically they're put together.
All the guys got drafted there.
They
right?
got drafted, or even like I hear a signing there. But
Yeah, Iguodala was a signing, and
Yeah,
Bogut was traded over. But Ezeli drafted, Curry drafted, Thompson drafted, Barnes drafted. All those guys were drafted by Golden State.
And all the depth has stuck around through this whole building process with Barbosa and Iguodala and Bogut. Like you said, like all those guys came in at the ground floor of this wave.
yeah. Getting rid of Jackson and
The
bringing
whole
in Kerr.
team's back from last year's championship, essentially, right?
And then they want to come back again, and I think that's huge. So that's why they're likable, in my opinion. But yeah, that's the end of Swish or Miss. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Attaboy, Will.
And that was Swish or Miss.